Hi guides, welcome to Summer Camp 2020. I own Craft House at Whitley Bay in Newcastle upon Tyne, and I'm part of the 81st Newcastle Girl Guide unit. Today I'm going to show you how to make a funky piece of artwork to put on the wall at home. First of all, we need a piece of card, and you want to draw your design on it, any shape you want. I'm going to do a flat head and a round like that. You can do any shape you want, and you can use any card you want. And remember, the thicker the card, the harder it is to cut. So sometimes a cereal box is just the right thickness. Then you want to cut that out. This one's a slightly different shape. You can cut it out, then you can start preparing for your design. You'll need some paintbrushes and paint. You can either use a paint palette if you have one at home, or an old plate or a saucer, or I use an old tile, and that's what I put my paint onto. Then you can decide what colours you want to paint your mask. I've got some purple here, and I'm going to colour in the top a nice purple colour. I think I'm going to do it lots of different colours across the whole piece of artwork. Might have a nice blue now. You can use any paints. I'm using acrylic because they dry very quickly, but you can use poster paint if you want. And if you don't have paint, you could even attempt this at home with felt tip pens, crayons, colouring in pencils, or even spray paint. Right, here's a turquoisey colour, because I'm going to make I think I'm going to stick with the theme of rainbow colours. Anybody who wanted to could actually attach a mask made out of paper later to support the NHS and everything they do. I want to get some orange on now, but I'm streaking through the other colours in it to give it a nice funky colour. It's great fun, and there's lots of colours you can use. Don't forget, if you don't have many colours, get some white, because you can always make different shades by mixing it with the white. Yellow is always a funny colour to apply. Sometimes it needs a second coat. But we'll just manage with one coat today because we've got lots to do. You don't have to do yours rainbow colours. You might want to pick up on a different colour scheme. Maybe something to match your bedroom, or if it's a gift, use favourite colours that you know this person likes. If you haven't got lots of colours, don't worry. It looks just as good all one colour. Just went and caught a little bit of blue in there, but it doesn't matter because nobody knows what I'm wanting to do. So they can't tell. And I think we'll do a nice navy blue. I'm lucky working at a craft shop because I've got all the colours under the sun here. Let's do the bottom bit red. If you're using acrylic paints, remember you don't need water. You only need water if you're doing a block paint, like the ones you get at school when they come in the round block. The poster paints are ready to use, and so is acrylic. Once that's done, leave it to one side to dry. Then you're going to get some spare bit of card that was on around the edge of your artwork or your mask, and you want to draw some shapes. If your mum cooks, you might be able to borrow cutters to make a shape, to make it easier to cut. Or you might have something around the house that you think, oh, I could use that to make a star pattern. I might decide just to do some nice big circles freehand, or some funky shapes to add on your mask. So you need to cut those out, and then you're ready to paint those as well. I'm going to turn mine over because this was a really thick cardboard box and it's smoother on the other side, and you don't see the black line. So I'm going to start jazzing these up with some nice paint colours, and I'm just going to use it single colours on them for the moment. Okay. You'll do yours a lot neater, and you might give them a second coat. I would advise that you wear an apron if you can, because it can get very, very messy, as you can see. And it just helps to protect your clothes from all of the paint. Cereal boxes work great as well, because you can build up, if you cut out 4 of those star shapes and you built it up together, one on top of the other, and just paint the top one, it'll give it a nice 3D look and it'll stand out from your mask. I think we'll do, got some metallic paint here. You may not have that at home, but you might do. Goes on lovely and gives a nice shine. So I think I'm going to do both of my circles nice and shiny. Then I'm going to pick some lighter colours. I've got some nice dark colours there, but I think an orange would be nice on something. An orange heart, possibly. So if you're doing it with felt tip pens at home, you would just colour it in. You can do paint and pen, and that way you're using two different mediums, so it then becomes mixed media. And also, if you get the end of a paintbrush and you dip it in some paint, you can then add extra colours, dot shapes to something else. That looks quite pretty. Right, next we're going to start putting it together. I think Pritt stick is perfectly okay, or some form of thick glue like this for sticking your bits together, because you're going to have to leave them to set anyway. So I think that looks very nice. And it'll hold it once it's set. I use a lot of glue because it needs to stick a thick piece of card. I'm going to highlight my face on my mask with some really nice cheekbones. And maybe there's a smaller one over here. And I'm going to use my star to decorate the top of my mask. You see how it's getting on? And the mask is coming together, and then we'll be able to do other shapes. Just made a little accident and picked up some paint. Just going to paint it over. Alright, going to make a mouth heart shaped. Then after that, with felt tip pens, you can add extra colour to your mask. We might draw nice under eye bits. Oops, it's a bit crinkly, this box. You can do any face you want. You could do it as a portrait of a member of the family. Obviously you'll have to tell them it's abstract colour and shapes. And I can add more dimension. I might put some down here. This is a little piece of foil with little holes in, which you could make yourself, or you could just draw the little circles. And I'm going to put a little bit of pattern around the edge of this purple section. Could look like a beard. Okay. I think I'm going to use the pale pink to paint the eyes, because felt tip pen didn't work very well on metallic, but it will work great on non-metallic paint. See? Doesn't have to be perfect circle, because we're just doing it freehand. There you go. And after that, you'll need to leave it to dry, but I can just add a bit now. A big dollop for the centre of the eye using the end of my paintbrush again. And there's my finished mask. I hope you've enjoyed making your funky piece of artwork, and everybody at home likes it as well. Have a lovely summer camp. Bye.